Welcome in to a new segment that I should be doing between every 2 and 3 weeks because I'm a really slow crocheter. I can't crochet every day as much as I really would love to. Sometimes I'm too fatigued or I lack the concentration, so I'm slow. That's why this isn't going to be an every week thing. It is going to be a little bit sketchy for the first couple of episodes because I've got to find my feet. They're down there somewhere. But I will take criticism, give me the comments, let me know what you think's right, what's wrong, down below. And if this is your sort of thing, please give a thumbs up. And if you're coming over, hi, my name's Lisa. I'd be delighted if you would hit the subscribe button. It's free, you know. It's free. Gotta love a freebie. Okie dokie. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you my current whips. Now the first whip is actually a shawl that I am doing every Thursday on camera. In my quiet crochet videos. So each Thursday I will do a little bit. Now what I'm going to do with these whips is I am going to put a hanky marker on where I have shown you up to. And I'm using the red and, dare I say it, also pink. Hanky stitch markers, because through February the 1st to including the 14th of February, red and pink hanky markers are £1 off for a pair, £2 off for 2 pairs, i.e. 4, and £1.50 off for 3 pairs. Now this is the start of the Primavera shawl, which is actually a magazine at the moment still. I don't know why. A Primavera shawl is in the Crochet Now magazine, issue 28. It is by Elizabeth Davis de Jerez. It's in UK terms and it's classed as an intermediate. Now, I have had problems with this pattern in 2 places and I think I've sorted it. I did try and get hold of the designer. I didn't get very far. I tried. So we basically started here at the nape of the neck and we're moving out. And so I will put the hanky marker exactly where I have got to with you guys, which I believe is row 21 of, yeah, I can show you the shawl as well. 21 of 43. So almost halfway through. And that is what it should look like. Should. I am using Lion Brand Shawl in a Ball, and it's a sparkly one. It is a mystical. Focus camera. Come on. Mystical Mirage. There you go. So we have pinks and purples, blues and whites in there. Now this is not intended for me. Definitely not. It is going to somebody. And I do like using shawl in a ball. If you don't know anything about shawl in a ball, let me tell you. Because why not? While it's here in my hand, why not? So it's 61% cotton, 34% acrylic, and 5% other fibre. Other fibre. It's classed as a 4 medium weight, but it is a roving. It goes from really, really thin in some places, like down to a sport weight, up to, in the odd place, like I can show you here, if I can grab it. Come on, Lisa, grab it. There we go. There's a bit here that's actually more of an Aran weight than anything else. And then you've got a really, really thin bit up here, which is more of a sport weight. It doesn't show on camera as well, but you know, if you've got it in front of you, you would know. So that is my first whip. That is the one that is public, and the hanky marker is in for next time. So that is that. Let me fold it up and place it back in its bag. Ta-da! Ta-da! One done. Next, I am doing a cal, a one-on-one cal. It's like have a cuppa, a chit-chat and do some crochet. The 3 C's, which I'm sure a lot of us enjoy doing. I love it. We are doing a poncho, and the poncho is called the Uptown poncho. There is a paid for version which is ad free on Ravelry. I will link down to the free pattern in the description. Uptown poncho is a beginner friendly poncho. I would go a little bit above that. It's not quite beginner. I'd go, it's definitely not intermediate, so I'd go advanced beginner. Is that a thing? No. They do sizes from kid to adult, and it's by Crochet Dreams, and he's done in US terms. And she also has a YouTube tutorial for it on the free page. So I am doing mine in Scarfy, and it is in the colour navy silver, which is fairly apt. I mean, I wouldn't call the grey silver, but silver navy. And Scarfy seems to be a nice roving as well. It's pretty continuous. You know, you don't have, oh my gosh, it's thin. Oh my gosh, it's already thick. Oh my gosh, it's gone back to thin again. You know, it's pretty sporadic. But the Scarfy is classed as a bulky 5 and is 78% acrylic, 22% wool. I'm fine with wool. I'm good with that. That's my colouring, and this is what it's supposed to look like. There we go. So obviously mine's a different colour, so I've folded it in half because it is quite long. So it's all half herringbone for the stitch for the main body, but we have literally just started doing the lacy bit, the lace work, which is lacy shells, but they're fairly easy to do. Now the buttons, I'm really chuffed. You saw the buttons on there, right? So this is my poncho, and the buttons I have for it, of course I'm not supposed to throw them everywhere, but I was really chuffed finding that, because that in the middle is kind of a silvery grey. So I thought that fit quite well on the poncho. So I'm quite chuffed. So I have 4 of those for when I get to it. But we convene every Wednesday and Thursday if she has electricity. Between now and our next visit, I have another 2 rows to do on that lacy stuff. So let's grab a hanky marker, show you where I am at the moment. So we're there. We did 50 rows of this before going on to the lace work. That's going to be my progress keeper to show you where I am. And that is the poncho so far. Even though it's not a poncho yet, it's just a rectangle. But I'm really, really enjoying it, because it's pretty much, I don't have to concentrate properly on it. Kind of sounds bad, I know. But you know, you can watch TV and do this without even really paying much attention to it. So I will place it back in its bag, because it's got sheeps on it. I can't remember what size hook I'm using for this. What size hook am I using? I am using a size 6mm for this. Okay. There it is. It's back in its bag. Ta-da! Next, and the last whip that I have to show you is my Fairbrook scarf, which again is a free pattern. But if you want it ad-free, you can buy it on Ravelry. I will link the free one down below. I am using Big Twist, which I have now deemed as my favourite Aran. Shouldn't be saying that because I'm so for Lion Brand, but I'm sorry, Big Twist took it. So I'm using Big Twist in the colour Varsity Blue. Ta-da! And this is a medium 4, and it isn't roving. And why can't I find what it's made of? Why don't you tell me? Oh, it's 100% acrylic. There you go. It did tell me. So the Fairbrook scarf, this is going to a gentleman. And with all thanks, this is width up rather than length, which is way my preferred. And it's classed as a, is it an intermediate? Yeah, it's classed as an intermediate in US terms. It's not. I mean, this is what it's supposed to look like. This is mine so far. So we're still going. I am going to put a progress keeper on. I will disinfect this work and my hands very shortly. And I don't know what row I'm on, because even though the pattern says to do X amount of rows, at the beginning of the pattern it says you will need this much Aran weight. Well, I've got just over what she's asked for, and I'm literally going until the skein is finished. So for me, I don't care how many rows there are, I'm just going. I wouldn't class it as intermediate at all. I would class it as an average beginner, because all it is half double crochets and front post double. That's it. But I think it looks pretty funky. It's got some texture on there, and it will do a man quite nicely, I think. But the Fairbrook scarf is by Ashley Edmonds. Like I said, I will link her down below. Well, I'll link the Fairbrook scarf down below. Now, if you have any whips, I know a lot of channels do this. I'm going to do it too. If you have any whips that you would like to share, whips, send them to me in an email. Please let me know what the pattern is, who it's by, and a link if you can. It would be appreciated. And maybe you can do the next time I will show you it a bit more, or next time I will show you it as a faux, whichever. Please send them to me at LisaLadybird@googlemail.com. It's all down below. But the last thing I've got to show you is what I'm sitting on. I'm going to show you one old faux. That makes it sound really bad, but I'm going to show you one old faux each episode. And this is this time's faux. So this was my first proper make in crochet. I had just relearned to do crochet, and I wanted to see what there was other than basic stitches. And I came across all sorts of videos on crochet on YouTube, and was like, I can't even remember what I entered, basic crochet stitch or easy crochet stitch, something like that. And I did almost every single one that came up. And then I got my friend to help me decide which 2 stitches I should feature in my blanket. And she said the ripple, which I have done in navy, so that's that, and the basket weave. Now this was all made with James C. Brett Twinkle, except I will get to it, because I did edging as well. I did fan edging, and on every corner, just because, I did bolster tassels. And this was in, I can't remember who makes it. That's really annoying. Diamonds with a Z. The silver is by Diamonds. The white was by James C. Brett. There are 2 corners that are white. And if I move my bottom, there are 2 corners that are silver. So you've got the white and the silver there as a comparison. And all 4 bolster tassels are white and silver. There was no pattern. It was just, how many squares do I have to make? Okay, to measure this much. Okay, I'll need 11 in each row. So how many will I need altogether? 100 and... Oh, sorry. It's because the blanket's on it. I'm so sorry. Human error. I'm so sorry. 11 across, and did 11 down. So there was 122 squares that needed to be done. It's in. I wanted it for my double bed, and it easily fits a king size. So there's extra room, and I've got to say it is really, really warm, but it is also extremely heavy. But I am so proud of this, except for one factor. Right at the start of this episode, I told you that I'm a slow crocheter. Now granted, please put into account that when I did this, I just started crochet again. I just re-picked up a hook and was finding my way. I put my hook down 7 years later. This took me a total of 7 years. Another reason for that is I was working full-time as well, and I could only do this when I was on a certain shift with my work and when I wasn't completely and utterly knackered, putting it basically. But I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. And something that made me really, really smile is, it was either last year or the year before, a subscriber said to me, "What did you use? How did you do it? I want to make one." And bless her heart, she did. So this was all mine. Nice and easy. Just make 20 million squares, or 122. And that is my old foe for this episode. We'll do another episode in a couple of weeks, and we will see if I've done more than one row past the progress marker. And yes, regarding the hanky markers, remember, sale on 1st to the 14th of February. And I will see you guys next time, and I will get cracking those whips. Bye-bye.